Still working on this thing. Here we go. We're live.
We are live, like live.
Live. For real this time.
Super live. Still sending out stuff on Instagram. I just put up a quick little teaser on Instagram to let people know that we will be live on the YouTubes. I'm putting it out on Facebook now.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I missed at least several spots shaving. But
I'm
whatever.
gonna try my best to zoom in on those.
Nobody wants to see it.
As the show goes on, try to highlight any flaws that you're conscious of.
Thanks.
All right, so we are here. This is the Patreon show, but this is our quarterly show, so of course it's live for everyone.
It is. So welcome
those that this is your first time seeing. I always get excited. It looks like we have 2 viewers from.
Probably just you and me.
It looks like there's 2 viewers on YouTube.
Oh, sweet. Wow. There you go.
All right, we're doing things now.
Yeah.
All right. So this is season 2, episode 3. So what that means is that it's the quarterly show. So what happens with the quarterly show? We bring on a guest.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Teddy. We bring on a guest, and there's extra giveaways.
Yep. So if you are a Patreon supporter at the $10 level or above, you get a separate quarterly giveaway. And if you're a supporter at the $5 level or above, you automatically qualify for our monthly giveaway. So on these shows, there's actually 2 giveaways that we do.
Mm-hmm. So I'm excited about those giveaways. I got one of them here. I kind of don't want to part with it just because, but you know, it's a commitment that we've given to our patrons, our followers, our supporters. So we'll give that away. And then there's another little added surprise that we'll have in here for the giveaway as well. So what I want to do is go ahead and without further ado, bring in our guests for our quarterly show. You want to introduce them?
Yes. So this is the TD for the Magic City Mega Bowl, who we worked with last year. He's TD'd several events. He is a part of Team Dynamic Discs. He runs the Dynamic Disc Iron City shop out there in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And just an all-around awesome dude. He is Mr. Ben Swam.
He is also the state coordinator, the PDJ state coordinator for Alabama.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. We'll let him elaborate more about that as we bring him in. Mr. Ben Swam.
How are you guys doing? Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So I always get mixed up. I always get mixed up with the time difference. We were just in Opelika doing the frostbite out there. Is it you guys are an hour behind us?
Yeah, it's 7:30 here. I think it's 8:30 where you are.
Yeah.
Oh, it was always weird for that. So Ben, what's going on over there in Alabama?
Well, you know, we just opened the store, Dynamic Disc Iron City, on January 1st, and I'm still working my regular day job on top of that. So we have a full plate right now.
Busy.
Full plate, yeah. I told Conrad, sorry about the background. This is the real. This is the inner workings of a disc golf store. So.
Hey, no worries. You can see I've got trophies and pictures and boxes and stuff and recording equipment everywhere.
You weren't busy.
Yeah.
You had time to clean. It means you weren't busy.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
So Dynamic Disc Iron City, big shop. We see that you've got obviously a bunch of Dynamic Disc products, but you offer more than just Dynamic Disc products, correct?
Yeah, we sell every brand. I mean, we have every major brand. About the only thing we don't have right now is Castoplast, and that's because we just can't get Castoplast. So, but we have Legacy, Innova, Discraft, all the Trilogy companies, obviously, Prodigy, Gateway. I mean, we have a little bit of everything. So, lots of bags, grip bags, you know, lots of apparel, hats. Yeah.
We'll definitely need to stop through next time we're in Birmingham.
Oh, 100%. You guys got to come through.
So I have a question about the store, though.
Sure.
So opening a store, especially a storefront, is like a big deal, right?
Oh, yeah.
So what made you commit to wanting to do that for your area?
Well, to be honest with you, I started noticing the kind of the trend of people being way more interested in disc golf stuff towards the end of the year last year, to the point that I actually set up a store in my basement and was basically just selling used disc and old, tournament stamps, leftover tournament disc and things like that. And then I started ordering a little bit of stuff from Dynamic, not really any other brands, but I was buying a lot of used disc really cheap and then selling them really cheap. And I had people driving over an hour to come shop in my garage.
Wow.
So that was kind of the indication that, if we couldn't make it work now, we probably weren't going to make it work. So, so, sometimes you got to shoot your shot, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
That's what we did. And so far it's been, it has exceeded every expectation we had. It's just, it's been everything and more that we were hoping for.
Good. Good to hear. You saw
Lots of disc offers.
You saw the demand and capitalized on it. And I'm pretty sure that your area is also appreciative of you actually having a physical store, because here.
Yeah, it's funny. We get a lot of people that they'll say, "Well, thanks for having the store here," and I'm like, "Well, thanks for coming in."
Yeah.
It's a good trade-off. We'll have the store as long as you keep coming in. So
yeah.
Awesome.
I know here locally we don't have a physical store like we used to. We used to have a Disc Stalker, was the main store here. Now we do have a few Play It Again Sports, of course, that sells discs. We have Dick's and Academy and stuff. But as far as like a specialty shop that just specializes in disc golf, we only have a few, and they're kind of small and kind of scattered out. So I know as a disc golfer, we appreciate being able to come in and actually lay hands on the disc and whatnot.
Oh yeah,
right.
That's the whole thing. Is that as I travel around and have played disc golf all over the place. My favorite thing about going in a disc golf store is to be able to touch things and pick them up and try them on and hold them and feel the plastic, feel the grip, and so it makes a big difference. Shopping online is great for all kinds of things, including disc golf. There's nothing wrong with shopping online if you know what you want. But if you're trying to try new things or there's something that you think might fill a hole in your bag or something like that, it's great to be able to go in and put your hands on it and say, yep, this is exactly what I was hoping it was going to be. And we also are doing things like taking trade-ins. If people have this they don't use anymore, they can bring them in and swap them out for store credit or cash. And most people do store credit, and then they can try out other stuff, and we sell the used disc pretty inexpensively. So.
Yeah, there's no substitute for being able to walk, as Stan Campbell chimes in. He's nailing it right on the head. You're looking for a specific disc that has, I want a Domi Destroyer that has a low parting line and that's this weight and this color. You can go online and you can see the colors and the weights, but you don't know, is this going to be the Domi or the stiffness that I'm looking for? Is the parting line too high or too low? There's no substitute for being able to physically hold the disc and know, like, this is the one that I'm looking for.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's been great so far, and I'm sure it's going to continue. We've noticed that as the weather gets nicer and there's more disc golf on YouTube and TV or whatever, the business is picking up and people are getting kind of fired up for disc golf this year. So we're excited to see where it goes from here. Excited to see what May and June and July look like. So.
As are we. Once it picks up,
so busy that we won't even be able to snag a piece of time like this from you. That's what we hope.
Look, I hope that's our biggest problem. So,
right. So you're also the TD for one of the biggest events in the Southeast. Really, we were fortunate enough to work with you last year for the Magic City Mega Bowl.
Yep.
I know it's a little bit early still in the year, but planning to run that event? There are things in the works. What are you looking to do?
Oh yeah, registration opens April 6th. We're going to have some early registration. This is kind of I haven't really told anyone this, so we'll reveal this on your podcast that we're going to have an option to register early for about 45 hole sponsors. He may seem like an odd number, but the PDGA only allows you to let 10% of your field sign up early for sponsorship. So, but we're going to open that up a couple of weeks before the April 6th start date. I just got all that figured out today, and we'll be announcing that to the general public come Sunday. So, but yeah, we're gonna shoot for 450 players this year, and bigger and hopefully better than it's ever been. So,
Sorry,
this is our seventh year. So, yeah, 7th year. So we got the 7-year itch, and we decided we're gonna throw another pool in the mix. You know, we've been doing 2 pools with tee times, 3 rounds over 3 days. So this year we're gonna do 3 pools, 3 rounds over 3 days. So, and lots of C-tier action going on, flex starts and stuff like that, just like we've always done. So it will be a full slate here in Birmingham.
Oh yeah, and I gotta imagine that if you don't already have the support of the local community and businesses, all 450 of those players are not local. So
that's right.
You're doing a great amount of business and service for your local.
Yeah, I am really always surprised at the percentage difference in out of town and in town, and we've had a couple of years where out of town has actually outweighed local. So people come and travel, and it's an A tier, and so people get excited. We try to make sure that player pack that we give them makes them want to come back next year. And even with all the COVID stuff last year, we had 255 people or something like that. So it's been good. It's good for Birmingham. It's good for our disc golf community to get to show off our courses, and we have a lot of great local disc golf history here. People that have been playing a long time, and we have people in our club that actually helped put the first course in the ground here. So it's a older community mixed with a lot of new players. So.
Yeah, we were fortunate enough to be out there last year and see some of the courses. We got to look at Civitan, Clay, and Inverness when we were filming, and those were some. Inverness is just wow. Just Clay was awesome. Civitan is if you're more beginner or intermediate level, you can have fun out there as well. Inverness is just that's a whole beast in and of itself.
And I think with our pool, we're going to have one pool this year that will be mostly novice players and some of the maybe novice and rec women and maybe the juniors, and they'll all be playing a rotation that doesn't include Inverness just for that reason. So it's a bit much sometimes on the novice players to kind of tame that beast of Inverness. So we've got some options where we can do a different course rotation where we can offer a little more fun as opposed to the tears and heartbreak that Inverness can bring.
It was hard to film, so I can't even imagine playing it since it was such a pain.
It's a great course, and I tell people all the time that if you want to get better at disc golf, just take 3 discs and go play Inverness Reds every day, or once a week for a couple of months, and you'll be a better disc golfer.
Oh yeah. Either that,
you'll be in a lot better shape.
Either they'll be a better disc golfer, or they'll need to come see you to get some more disc.
Yeah.
So
I think you have 3 additional courses for this year. You have the Greg Carter Memorial, the George Ward Park, and the Magnolia Links. Of all the
I'm kind of mean that I put basically every course in Birmingham on the registration page, and a lot of that is because I'm waiting to see what the Parks Department, the city of Birmingham, is going to do about George Ward. So I put everything out there because I didn't want somebody to say they didn't know that we were going to play that course.
Oh, okay.
I'm excited though that Greg Carter just recently our local club here, Disc Golf Birmingham, which is again such a great club with really a great group of volunteers and people that help do things. They just installed cement tee pads, money raised by the club members and the work done by the club members to put the tee pad in at Greg Carter Memorial, which has always been a great course, but always had about 80% natural tee pads. Ooh. So this is a huge difference. I've gotten to play it twice since they put them in, and it's a game changer. So that course will I have every intention of getting that course into at least part of the tournament rotation for this year's Mega Bowl. It definitely will have a flex start out there for sure. So,
all right.
Yeah, we got to play George Ward last year or the day before we started filming.
Yeah,
we got up there early and we're like, one of the closest courses to us was George Ward, so we got to play that. That was a nice course.
It's great, and I hope that some of the I hope some of the restrictions will be lifted or at least eased, where we can. There's nothing wrong with. I'm not opposed to the restrictions, but we did a good job, I thought, last year of keeping people safe and taking steps to mitigate the COVID issue. So hopefully we'll get the chance to do that in Birmingham again this year with the, George Ward is the only one that's actually in the city limits. So
yeah. Ben, you're getting a few accolades here. You got some.
Oh, Peggy's the best.
She really is.
She's the best. Yeah, I met Peggy a couple years ago. So I run the Alabama Women's Championships. We're only in our third year this year, but we doubled our attendance from last year, from the first year to last year. So I'm excited about what that's going to bring this year for the women's event. So Peggy will probably be the biggest cheerleader I have in the Atlanta area.
You get a lot. I'm assuming you get a lot of representation.
If she shows up with a bus full of the gals group, I won't be shocked. So
yeah, Peggy's doing a lot of stuff for the women out here, so it's definitely fun to see. And I was surprised last year, I shouldn't say I was surprised last year, but the amount of people from the Atlanta area that were at the Mega Bowl was nice to see.
So Ben, let's talk.
Like I said, I definitely try to, this will be the first year that we've ever done payout. We've always only done a player pack, and we've made it a big deal. We used to joke that you say, Mega Bowl, there's no payout because you win when you check in, and that's what, we're still going to have a big player pack, but we're also going to do some payout this year. So we're trying to elevate the event each year. We want to try to make it bigger, bigger and better every year. And so hopefully that's what keeps people coming back, and try to run a smooth event and put good information out there. We have an app for the tournament, which is not something that most tournaments have. So yeah, we're trying to do big things here in our little city of Birmingham. We're smaller than Atlanta for sure.
So Ben, I have a question for you.
Sure.
It's about you being a TD. So how long have you actually been TDing events?
Well, I ran my first event in 2013. We ran my brother and I, Jason, we ran an ice bowl here in Birmingham, and it was, super fun. We had, I think we had like 50 people there, and we thought we had conquered the world. So, obviously things have grown since then, but pretty much since 2012, I've been running at least a couple of events a year for sure.
So what led you to wanting to run events back then? Because I know it's different than now. Like right now, part of the reason I have you on is because I think we need more TDs, because we need more events for people to play, because events are selling out in 2 minutes. So there's obviously a need with the influx of players. So what was it back then that actually got you sparked into wanting to be a TD?
Well, honestly, the reason that we were so interested in the Ice Bowl is we saw an opportunity to, that's an event that donates all the donations, or the money that's made goes to the food bank. And so we saw an opportunity to kind of elevate the way that, people were approaching that tournament, as far as like getting whole sponsorships that, that I think they were $20 the first time we played, which was the year before. And we sold them for $100, so that we could, kind of raise the bar on what you could do with an Ice Bowl, so and I think part of it was I knew that I started playing disc golf when I was 40. So I definitely knew that I was not going to be world champion. And I'm an organizer at heart. I like to organize things. I tend to kind of gravitate towards maybe a leadership or organizer role naturally. It's kind of funny because my brother Jason, he does just as much of this stuff as I do, but he is more of a kind of behind the scenes guy. He doesn't, or at least he's probably watching this right now. He might be saying, no, that's not true. You just always get in the way. But everybody, you kind of find your roles and things. And that's just what I've liked to organize things. And I definitely found out that I was having as much or more fun running events than playing sometimes. So.
All right. We have a question off the board here.
Mm-hmm. As you beat me to it, I just saw it pop up.
So Keith asks, public parks versus pay-to-play courses. What direction do you see the sport moving in?
You're asking me that?
Yeah.
As a team.
Well, personally, I think that we are at the point where, and some of this is kind of what you were talking about, Conrad, about there just not being enough tournaments and things. And of course, that means that people are going to be looking for places to play. Because I got news for you, the TDs are coming. I field questions every day about how to run a tournament, how to start a tournament, how to order a player pack. So the TDs are coming. People are seeing opportunity to run things. So I know I saw a stat from UDisc about the number of courses going in per day or something. It was just crazy. I can't remember exactly what it was, like 3.6 a week or something. I can't remember what it was, but I was just like, that's nuts, But just like anything else, with the popularity comes expense. The more popular something is, the more likely it is to cost more. So public parks, I think, are great. I think that pay to play is probably, boy, I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for saying this, but pay to play is probably the direction that we're moving, and it's probably better that we are. I don't know. It's that's probably where we're heading, and we probably should, if we want to get to a place where it's seen as a more mainstream sport.
Yeah, I think for bigger tournaments, yes.
Unfortunately, for some people that I know, the appeal for a lot of people of this sport is the inexpensive nature of it. But I do think there's a world where you can have pay to play and free parks, and they can coexist.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have to be all or nothing. I think that what you'll see is people making that decision down the road that, I don't go there because I'm not going to pay $5 to play or whatever. And that's just becomes a personal decision. So,
well, I mean, if you look at the nature of public parks, period, I mean, you can go to a public park, a city park or whatever, and they have certain amenities and certain accommodations, and you know what to expect. But if you go to a national park where you're going to have to pay for an entry fee, there's a certain level of acumen that comes with going to that park. So, I mean, it's not something that's like elusive or something that's new to disc golf. I mean, it already exists in other facets of what we do. And there are people that say, I'm not going to go to that national park because it's a national park. It's supposed to be free. I'm not going to go. Well, fine, they're not going to go. But some people are going to go because
absolutely
the benefit that comes with
it. And I know I've played a few pay-to-play courses. I'm sure you guys have probably played some. There is a distinct benefit to playing on a course that is in an area or a park that is strictly dedicated to disc golf, as opposed to a public park that has, basically an infinite amount of opportunity for somebody to be in the way or cause you to wait or, I've seen plenty of players get frustrated with people walking or people walking their dogs or dogs off leashes. So, it all depends on what how you set a value for what you're paying. If it's valuable to you to go pay $10 to play a disc golf course that is amazing and there's nothing else going on there but disc golf, I think there's value in that for me, but that may not be for everybody. But I definitely, would sometimes pay $5 to not have to wait for somebody to take their dog across the sidewalk. So I think that's one of the great things about Inverness, that we were talking about earlier. I think that's why a lot of people, even though it's a very difficult course sometimes, I think people like to play out there because there's absolutely nothing else going on. You might see some people doing some trail walking, but that park is essentially, there's nothing but disc golf and nature there. So that makes a huge difference. Where our other parks in the city and the surrounding area, with the exception of probably Clay is very much only disc golf once you're on the disc golf course. There's a lot of ballparks and stuff around there, but that's another one where I think people gravitate towards that sometimes because there's no chance of you waiting on the 20 walkers in a group to finish their morning stroll. So
that's the thing. When you get out there, you're going out there for a specific purpose. You don't have to worry about, you're talking about people being away or not knowing what disc golf is and just being in the middle of a fairway sunbathing. There's a pay-to-play course by us in Lula, Georgia, which has its own pro shop now. It's run by Bomb Squad Disc Golf, and you get up there, full property. It's very well maintained. You're paying a couple bucks to play it, but everybody that goes there with the expectation of knowing that they're playing a premium level course. They're not going to have to worry about anything but disc golf, and they're going to have a great time. So there's definitely some big advantages to those types of courses. And it's not like ball golf where you're paying $40 or $50 a round. It's not now anyway. To go out there and shoot 25 over par and want to give up the game. At least you're paying $5 or $10 here to then get frustrated and want to give up the game. So
I heard the Bomblins were taking that over. I was really happy to hear that. So
yes.
And to add to your point, typically at most pay-to-play places, or at least the ones that we've been to, is typically pay for the day. So you pay for the day until you get tired. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, ball golf is per round. So
that's a good question.
Ben, you mentioned earlier that you have tons of people asking you questions and that the TDs are coming. So we have a broader audience now. What are some of those questions that are asked that you?
Well, like right now, it's a lot of people that, especially here in the central Alabama area, we have a lot of new courses kind of on the in the kind of southern suburbs of our city, and so we have a lot of people that are wanting to run events, and they have lots of questions, which and I'm always happy to help. I'm always glad to answer questions because I want them to have the correct information as opposed to just having to quote unquote figure it out. So I try to help them and send them links to things so that they're getting the right information, but maybe they're a little more apt to hold on to it because they're learning it for themselves and things like that. But lots of questions about how to sanction. What do I do to sanction something? How do I get player pack items? How does a tournament sponsorship from manufacturers work and things like that? So it's definitely, I probably have fielded more questions in 2 months of 2021 than I did the entire year of 2020, and that's including COVID questions. So I think today alone I probably had 2.5 hours of phone calls with potential TDs, people asking questions about what's a what's a C tier, what's a XC tier. it's just there's a lot of stuff out there for people to try to figure out when you're running a tournament. So.
And I'm guessing you get some of those questions because you're the state coordinator, so that they know that you have the answer.
I think so. Some of that is the state coordinator, and some of it's because it's a lot of people that have been to events that I've run, and you know they know that I'm a TD. So, and unfortunately, there's not a large number of us here in town. You know, it's the club runs stuff, and then I run stuff, and then Chris, who's my co-owner here at the store, Chris Pierce from Eat Sleep Disc, he runs stuff. So there's definitely, like I said, the TDs are coming. I mean, people are interested in it. They want to learn. I'm sure if you went and you guys know Larry Burge up in, Larry from Huntsville, and he comes down and helps run the Mega Bowl. He's probably getting the same amount of questions in his area. I think it's just a familiarity thing. They know that I run events here, and so they're reaching out to me. I'm not getting calls from like all over the state or anything. It's just there are a lot of local folks that are looking to run events, so, which is great. I think it's great. So, because I promise you, I'm not running 20 events a year just to keep everybody in a tournament. So,
to answer one of the questions that you get asked, and this is the question.
Okay.
How to sanction a PDGA event? Is this what you do? No. You tell them to come here?
No, well, I mean, in a sense, I do. I don't just say, go look at the PDGA website. I tell them that, the first thing we need to do is pick a date. And then after we've figured out a date, I tell them, okay, so your next step is going to be to go on the website, hover over the events link, hover over tournament directors, and choose event sanctioning. It's pretty sad that I have that memorized, but I answer that question a lot. So, yeah. But yeah, I do get links from here. PDGA Tour Standards, the PDF. If you guys, I don't know if you guys run events. I mean, I know you guys are always at events, but if you've run one, that document has everything you need to run an event. And unfortunately, a lot of potential TDs don't even know that it's out there. So I share that with them. I add them. I quickly try to get them added to our Alabama state calendar, where they can see all the events, sanctioned and non-sanctioned, that have been added to the calendar. And then, I just talk to them about the fees and, the fact that you got to pay that up front. And, I try to get them on their way. And then, there's lots of follow-up questions, and which is fine. Again, I'm happy to see other people running events for sure.
Yeah.
Is there a timeline that you want to tell people, like, hey, if you're thinking of running an event, give yourself at least this much time to kind of properly plan?
Well, I always tell people they should not be opening their registration less than 2 months out from the event, because giving yourself that kind of window to fill up the tournament makes your TD life so much easier. And now, I mean, right now, I know, you guys know the talk on the internet and stuff about all these tournaments filling up in, seconds or minutes or whatever. I mean, I had a 90-person charity event that filled up in an hour and a half the other night. 90 players in 92 minutes, basically. And so that's obviously a lot easier. But, the old days was you'd open the registration and then you'd post 40,000 times on Facebook trying to get people to sign up, and that's a good problem to not have right now, because obviously if your event's sold out, that gives you all the capital you need to order your disc and get your player pack items and not be stressing about that. Because, one of the worst things about being a TD 7 or 8 years ago was how many times you'd have to dip into your own bank account to front something, hoping that you would get enough players, and if you didn't do that, then you were very likely to not have enough stuff for all the players that showed up to sign up that day at the event. So I mean, I try to give them the quickest route to being a TD, and then help them along the way as they go. So.
Along those lines, we did have another question coming in off the board from Keith Bomblin, asking about your thoughts on having 5 people per card to kind of get more people into these events. Is that something that you kind of look to do or shy away from for pace of play? Or
nope.
Your thoughts on that?
I totally do it. I think that as long as you account for the fact that you have 5 players in your timeline. Now for the Mega Bowl, when we're doing tee times, I really prefer to be at 4 because I think it does keep the pace going. And then I also put in gaps for tee times. If I know we've got novice players or maybe a relatively new group of ladies players or juniors, somebody that's going to take a little more extra time than say an advanced group, I definitely will put spacing in there to buffer that and things like that. But 5 for a shotgun start has been working for me. I think some of that may depend on the course, but I don't know if you guys got a chance to see Magnolia Links at Gardendale here when you were here, but it's a relatively small course. We just did a 90-person event a few months back and had no issues. We played 2.5-hour rounds. Now, on an average day, if you had a group of 3 and you played that course, like if we just had 18 cards of 3, we'd probably knock that out in an hour and a half. But again, if you plan for that and you know that's what it's going to take, I don't think it's an issue. I think that I think 5 is definitely is got to be the limit. I hope they don't ever say you can do 6. That'd be a bad move, but I think 5 is very doable. 4 is ideal to me. I like the idea of 4, but if it helps people get in events, I think 90 is a good number. So,
yeah, 5 is doable. We've had plenty of events that we filmed that are 5 per card. 6, if you try to tell us we're going to film 6 people, I don't think we should. One is, it's also hard to, I know from the media side, it's hard to maintain somebody's attention when you have 6 people throwing shot after shot after shot on that too.
You get a lot of is it me? Who's going next?
Right, who's out? Yeah.
We've all played some mob golf with our friends, and you know how that can be. So yeah, I think 5 is definitely, we don't want it more than that just to get numbers in. That would be crazy. So
yeah,
but yeah, I think 5 is doable. That's a good question though, Keith. I mean, I'm sure that lots of TDs are facing that right now. It's like, oh, I did 72 because of all the COVID or because that's what everybody else in my area does. Should I bump it to 90? I get that sometimes here. People are like, well, do you think it'd be all right to do 90? And I'm like, hey, man, go for it. As long as you have daylight. We're getting up on my favorite time of the year, which is that time change. We're gonna spring forward. That's gonna be awesome. And so then all bets are off, and then we just do 140 players every turn. No, I'll tell you though, another good thing. I was talking to a TD about this today. Something to consider, especially for like a charity event, which is what this young lady and I were discussing, was a charity event. And I said, if you're really looking to bump your value for your event to donate to the charity, consider tee times, because you can push through about 125, 130 people in one day just doing one round. And most of the time, especially if you're advertising it as a charity event and things like that, people aren't going to be too wrapped up in the, I got to play 2 rounds. But you can do a C tier, a PDGA event where you get ratings and do a tee time where they can sign up and choose a tee time, or you can do a flex start or whatever. But you can get a lot more people through an event if that's what you're looking to do, is raise money, or flip it to a 2-day and still do 2 rounds, but do tee times, and then you go from 90 to 130 players and just do 1 round a day. That's very doable as well.
Someone did a hat change there.
I don't know what you're talking about. Same hat I've had on the entire time.
So Ben,
yep.
What is involved with being a state coordinator?
It used to be the easiest job in the world. It really is easy. Basically it's perfect for me because, like I told you, naturally I like to organize things. And for real, like, man, I tell you, I'm in a Facebook group on Facebook. There's a group for PDGA state coordinators that they have said it's like a private group. Mm-hmm. And I tell you, I got it easy. These guys in Michigan and Wisconsin and places like that, where they only get like 6 or 7 months of disc golf and they're trying to pack the whole year. I mean, you guys know here in the South, we play all year long, right? These guys are scheduling just crazy amounts of tournaments in a very small window. There's these two guys there. I'm not going to say their names because I'm not going to mess up how you say them or what state they're with. But they constantly are answering all the questions because they're like the most they have all this knowledge from running tournaments and being a PDGA state coordinator. I think that they've been doing it so long because there is no way anybody wants to take that role over from them. The one guy from Michigan, I'm thinking, man, if that guy ever stops being the state coordinator, I feel sorry for that state. I mean, I think he has to keep this master spreadsheet and all this stuff. I have a Google Calendar, and somebody reaches out to me and says, "Hey, can I get approved for this date?" I go look at that date and make sure there's not somebody running an event across the street from them, and tell them you're good, and tell them to tell me the tier and the course and the name of the event, and I add it to my calendar and put a little note about who the TD is, and I roll on with my day. Now, I'll say this. Our calendar for Alabama is as full as it has ever been, and it's only March.
Yeah.
And we have stuff scheduled out all the way through. I mean, I think we have events that are already scheduled in November. So, but the calendar helps. I didn't set up the shared calendar. A guy in Huntsville, Danny Newton, set that up and shared it with me and said, "Hey, you can use this to post events." And so what I started doing is I create my own PDGA calendar for events that I have to say yes on the date. But then we also maintain this Alabama calendar that has all the trilogy challenges and ace races and all the unsanctioned stuff. We try to put all of that on there. As soon as I hear about something, I'll go say, "Oh, is that out on the calendar?" And I try to add it so people can get an idea if they do go run an event that, what they're up against, so to speak. Of course, again, it's the Wild Wild West right now. People just fill up every event. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I know we'll be out later on in the Huntsville area. We're doing the NADGT event over there at Kutsu Cove.
Yeah.
Which I think this year, I don't know if it's 3 days that they're doing. But I know it's at least 2 days and 2 rounds, but it might be 3 days and 3 rounds.
It's probably,
yeah, I'm not sure. I know that one sold out though.
Yeah, that's another 8-tier out there. You've got the Mega Bowl. So there's some really, really big events happening in Alabama this year.
Yeah, so Midsummer Meltdown is a new one this year for 8-tiers. Tim Clausen down in Foley has been running a B tier down there really successfully for the last few years, and he's flipped it to an 8-tier this year. So, yeah, when I first started playing, there was no 8-tiers in Alabama, and then now we have I think we have 5 this year or something like that. So that's a big deal. We're not a big state, and we don't have these huge metropolitan areas. I mean, Huntsville and Birmingham are kind of big, but we don't have these, we don't have Atlantas and things like that. So it's kind of cool that we have 5 8-tiers when like I said, 8 or 9 years ago, we didn't have any. So.
Well, even for being a small
list. Look at that. Just look at that Good Friday right there. Good Friday. That's right. I said Friday. There are 3 events in Alabama on Good Friday. So, and look at that. The next day, 3 more. So it's just, there is a lot of people running events.
The City of Mobile Championships. Forgot about that one. That's another.
Yeah, that's
an
8-tier. Yeah, they started as an 8-tier the same year that we made the Mega Bowl an 8-tier. So, yeah. So
if you're looking for places to play, if you can get in,
man,
check out the disc golf scene in Alabama because
there's some big numbers on there. You see that Rocket City Blast? It's 270 players, man. That's why I had to add a pool. I couldn't have Larry outdoing me, so. I had to add a pool just to keep up with Burge.
Yeah. So with all this stuff going on, you're running events left and right. You've got the store going on, obviously, but you run into the same thing that we do, is that we're still disc golfers at heart. So we want to get out and we want to play in these events. I know we ran into you at the Frostbite or the Defrost, whichever one it was that they actually played.
It was Frostbite,
The Frostbite. Are you still planning on getting out there and playing some events this year as well?
Oh yeah, I mean I'm going to DDO. I'm having to back out of a couple of events that I was signed up for. I've got a torn meniscus that I got to get repaired, but that's a 6-week recovery. I had the other one done a few years ago, so it's all good. But I'll have to back out of a couple of small things maybe. And I found out last weekend you can play with a torn meniscus. You just can't do an X step. You just got to be still.
Just stand still.
Throw everything standstill.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely I have events that I like to play every year. Frostbite's one of them where I've been to every Frostbite they've had. Definitely shout out to Larry. I definitely will be at Rocket City Blast. Kevin Turner runs great events in Chattanooga. I go to a couple of his a year. So we definitely have the things that we love to go to, and we're going to travel to. My kind of a travel group team, one time we run a lot of events, especially charity stuff, and try to give back to disc golf in general. We sponsor a lot of holes and tee signs and things like that. So, but we also travel a lot, and we go all over the Southeast and sometimes to Kansas to play disc golf. So I'll definitely say that it is a little more challenging to schedule things and have to try to fit things like who's going to cover the store in. Like right now, Chris is in Arizona at the Memorial. And then I'm doing the payout for an event this weekend. So first time that we're going to leave the part-time guys covering the store the whole day. So, I got all the faith in the world in them for sure. But, it's just, that's the kind of thing that now it's a little different. So,
well, if you have some time later on in July and you want to drive down to the Atlanta area, the battle at Boomtown in Canton over at the ball golf course is always a fun event to come out to also. And that's a 27-hole layout. Plus they have a distance competition. It's a whole big party atmosphere that they're doing every year. And it's becoming a big, big event year over year. So
we got
holes with the cart.
You get a cart. Yeah.
Conrad read my mind. That was my next question.
Yeah. You'll need a cart.
Please tell me with 27 holes, you're putting some guys in a cart. So.
Oh yeah. They're doing it right.
There's a little shout out team one time. There we go. Y'all better watch out for her, Anna Pinter. She's a up and coming lady pro. So she plays for Prodigy. She's big time.
She gonna be at the Mega Bowl later on this year, we hope?
Oh yeah, she'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to DDO. She'll be there for that. So she's getting out there. She's going to Texas State's, I think, and I think last year she played Jonesboro, so I would expect she's probably doing that too. She's fancy.
Always fun to see.
All right. Where are we at? 48 minutes.
48 minutes.
So Ben, we don't want to hold you up. We know you got to go home at some point. You can't live in the store. But we want to include you. This is the first time that we're including the guest in this process.
Oh, yes.
We want to include you in your store in our giveaway.
Okay.
So here's what we want to do. We have two giveaways to do.
Yes.
We would want you. We'll give you the option. So either the winner of one of our giveaways can contact you and get a disc, or you can go right now in the store and select a disc for our winner. We'll cover the cost for it. But you can go to the store and select a disc for our winner so that we can give it away on the show.
All right, I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
Wait. Price limit.
He's gonna pick one of those.
Nate Sexton.
Yeah. Here's one of those limited Nate Sexton Las Vegas Challenge Firebirds that are going for $750. We'll just send that to our address, and we'll send out a DX Firebird to the winner.
And a DX Leopard. They're gonna get two discs for that one.
Yeah, there you go. That's fair exchange. Well, that was
all right. Well, it's a small store, so it's not like I had to go get the milk at Walmart. So what we're going to do is a metallic Lucid Justice with the Dynamic Disc Iron City logo on it. And if you guys have covered the cost of that, I'm going to throw in the matching mini for free.
All right.
Hey, all right. That works. Sweet. There you go. So we're going to do that as part of the quarterly.
Which giveaway we're going to do that one for, Vega?
We can do that as is
Man, this is a tough decision.
it is a tough decision. Let's do that as the monthly giveaway. And make the monthly one a little bit more special this time.
Okay. Okay. So that is the monthly giveaway.
So anybody that is a $5 and above Patreon supporter qualifies for that giveaway. And then our quarterly giveaway is always at least 2 discs, and Conrad has a special one set aside from his stash that he doesn't want to give away. And I'll pick one from my stash to include in it as well for the quarterly giveaway. But we'll do this one for the monthly to make it a little more special, since you're getting the mini included, and it's a sweet justice.
All right. So I'm bringing up the spreadsheet.
Yep.
And I feel like I go through this every month. So who's included in the monthly?
Anybody that's $5 and above.
$5 and above. All right.
So Ben, while we have you and we're kind of pulling this up here, Magic City Mega Bowl registration, where can people go to sign up? When does it go live? How many spots again? Just kind of give us the recap.
Yeah, disc golf scene and the early registration for 45 hole sponsors will open on the 20th of March.
Okay.
And then regular registration will open on April 6th at 8 p.m. On disc golf scene. So
awesome. So be ready.
And then we'll be looking for app updates and things like that shortly after that. So,
okay. So definitely want to
check out
that
the
Magic
City Mega Bowl on Facebook, and you can get the updates about registration and things like that. We have a Facebook page, so check that out, Magic City Mega Bowl, and Instagram, all of it.
Sweet. Yeah, last year was a lot of fun, and I know you said you didn't get to do the full party atmosphere that you get to.
Yeah, and it's looking really good that we're gonna get to do at least maybe a little bit watered down version of the full party this year. So I'm really excited about that. I got some good information today that I'm not going to reveal, but got some good news about some potential venues for a couple of our fun events that we like to do. So really excited about this year's event.
Very good. Very good.
All right. Here we have random.org.
The best free site on the internet.
Yeah, it gets used so much.
So Ben is going to give us 2 discs. So we're going to go with the second generated number.
Okay.
We have the 1 through 6 Patreons that qualify for this giveaway. And the first number we generate is 6.
Yeah.
The second number is 6.
6 again, really?
That's so random.
I know. So how do we have it organized this week? Is it by name, by email?
No. It's by their pledge amounts.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. So who is lucky number 6?
You won't believe who it is.
Don't tell me it's Sean Medina.
It's not Sean Medina.
All right.
Hey, Sean's a good guy. I like that kid.
He's won so much stuff.
We've only 4 of them. We've only had 5.
Yeah.
Sean's a good guy, a big supporter of my tournament. So
yeah.
So we have Jason Laughinghouse, Giggle Shack.
Hey, Giggle Shack. Awesome.
Awesome.
Finally gets one.
So I know he was on. If he's still on,
well, either way, we'll email him and let him know. Is he still on?
I can't tell.
Oh, okay. But either way, we'll email him and let him know, and then we'll get all the shipping information and all that stuff over to you, Ben, so that you can get it out to him, and then just let us know what the cost is, and we'll cover all that.
You got it.
And we appreciate you helping us out with this.
Sure, glad to do it.
Awesome.
And so now we're going to move on to the monthly giveaway.
Okay. Oh, that means I got to get the discs for that, which I don't have on me. Definitely don't have it on me. But I'll be back.
So should I wait to reveal what I'm going to give? Like it's special. It's been in this bag since I got it. You know.
Oh, that's part of the. Wait, that was the monthly. Now we got to do the quarterly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's You've got yours. If you want to show yours, you can, and then I'll go ahead and grab the disc that I'm adding to it.
This looks like it hurts, Conrad.
It's just when you see it, you'll be like, "Why is he giving that away?" But that's what we do. That's what we do.
That's right. Give till it hurts.
So here's the disc. I don't even know if this camera's going to do it justice, but it is.
Oh my! Look at that.
A Ledgestone Fire Buzz. That is one pretty disc.
That is amazing.
I'm not even sure if whoever gets it, if I should allow them to throw it. It's just that is just a nice disc.
Oh boy, that is nice.
So this is what you get when you support us and what we do. We support you back.
Exactly.
Let's see what Vega has.
So along with that, as you can see, I'm wearing a Pro Diggy hat. That is because the second part of the giveaway is a Kevin Jones Signature Series H02V2.
Nice. That's nice.
There. Brand spanking new, 173 grams. I don't want to give this away either, but we do
I feel
it for
so
our
bad for you
supporters.
guys.
So these two, these two are going somewhere special. Probably to Sean Medina's house, but we'll see in a little bit here.
Yeah. So this quarterly giveaway is eligible to the $10 and above supporters.
Yes. Feels really nice. I haven't thrown an H2V2. This feels really nice for sidearms.
I don't remember if that's the one that I have or if I have the H4. I don't know. I may have one.
It feels almost like a Sergeant. I wonder how it compares. But
All right, now for our quarterly giveaway, we have 3 of our Patreons that are eligible.
There you go. So there, look at the odds.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, sign up, people. Like, this is the stuff we're giving away. Last time we gave away a bag with a couple of discs and a mini. Now we're giving away 2 premium signature discs. Like, get signed up for $10 a month. Where else are you going to get these odds to get these types of wins? Not even on the little disc golf raffles.
All right. So
random.org one more time.
Random.org one more time. 1 through 3. Man, these odds are just ridiculous.
Yeah. Right.
If I sign up, can I just keep the disc? All right, so we're giving away 2 discs. We're going to go with the second generated number again.
That works.
The first number is 1.
Okay.
The second number is 3. And the odds are in his favor. It is Jason Laffenhouse.
Wow.
Is it really?
Yes.
The double win.
Giggle Shack. Clean sweep. Congratulations, Giggle Shack.
That's a big win.
Now you can't say you never won anything.
I know, right? He's won. This is like one of the best packages that we've given away.
Yeah. Well, there you go. See, there's nothing that says you can't win both. So,
nope.
Boom, bammer. Until I change the bylaws later on today on patreon.com. But other than that, for now, Giggle Shack takes it all home. That's awesome. We've actually had quite a few. I know on the monthly stuff, I know like Sean's won a ton of stuff, which is awesome. But we've also had quite a few different winners. I know Keith's won stuff. We just had, was it Ryan Trotter won something? Now Jason's won something. So
the one that we had to send out to California.
Yeah. It's awesome to see being able to spread the love and just give out stuff left and right to different people. So pretty cool to see. Hey, there's a little thing that says thank you, Patreon members. So Ben, like we were saying, we don't want to hold you up, but any final thoughts or any big thanks or supporters or anything that you want to give thanks to or anything you want to let us know about?
Yeah, I mean, my final thoughts about the TD thing is, take a chance, get out there and try it. There's plenty of good TDs out there that if you ask them, they're going to help you get going. And another good thing to do if you're thinking about being a TD is volunteer. Go volunteer to work at a tournament, side by side with a good TD and watch how they do things. That's essentially how I learned. I watched other people and, you find out the way, the things you like to do one way, and it doesn't necessarily have to be that everybody has to do everything the same way. But, if you got a TD that you like and you like the way they run events, go hang out with them and volunteer to help and carry boxes and go get lunch and things like that. All the things that every good TD needs. So you'll learn a lot just by helping out. Shout out to my sponsor, Dynamic Disc, and my sponsor / cool group of friends, Team One Time. Thank you guys for having me on. I appreciate it and had a good time.
Awesome.
Be dynamic, throw dynamic. There you go.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on, Ben. I appreciate all the knowledge you spread along the way here, and I know this is something that, like you said, it's growing, and you're getting these questions. If you're getting them, I'm sure the other state coordinators are getting them too. So it was a great time to go out and kind of give some useful information on what to look for and how to get started on being the TD and helping to continue to grow the sport.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And if you are a TD, don't keep all that information to yourself.
Yeah.
You're not going to want to be a TD forever.
Yeah.
Spread the knowledge. The store is not online yet, but it's coming. The store's in Birmingham, Alabama. It's Dynamic Disc Iron City. It'll be ironcitydisc.com probably shortly. We'll see.
Ooh, very cool. Yeah, big thank you again, Ben. Thank you for supporting also those. You had some ad spots in the Frostbite Open coverage that we just put out recently.
Yeah, that was really cool. We were excited for that. So big shout out to Robbie C for that. If you guys aren't following Robbie C on Instagram, you're doing it wrong. That kid's hilarious.
And then other than that, we look forward. I mean, we haven't made the official announcement about Magic City Mega Bowl yet, but I'm sure we will see you later on this year.
You sure will.
All
right, cool. Guys.
Thanks so much, man. We appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, there you have it, Mr. Ben Swam. And if you haven't been keeping track, I think I'm on hat number 5 of the show. So whoever had 5 in the pool, so far you are in the lead. If you didn't know about the pool, there was a pool, and then you buy boxes and brackets, and then you see how many hats I'm going to have throughout the show. Maybe people will start that for the next one. Thank you, Keith. We appreciate you, buddy. And we look forward to being out there with you in July for Battle at Boomtown 4 for show. That's going to be a big one. We don't need to be like, hey, make sure you guys are like, be ready, because that thing sells out before it's even posted. It sells out. So
don't know how it happens.
Yeah, if there's whole sponsorships.
I was 150th on the wait list.
Yeah,
making my stuff.
Yeah, if you want to get in for those whole sponsorship stuff. I believe Keith said he's going to be doing those types of offers as well. That's your best chance to get in before the crowd, because once it goes live for regular registration, man, you got to be so quick on the draw. And it's such an awesome event with everything that they do, from the players packs to the payouts to the distance competition to just the party atmosphere to 27 holes on a ball golf course with carts. I mean, you've seen the videos we've put out. This thing is amazing. So can't wait to be out there for that one. Super duper.
Sure.
All right. So other than that, I guess we can touch base quickly on some of the news that we've seen going across the sport lately.
I don't know Paul.
I don't know if you've heard of this Paul Macbeth guy.
We're going to talk about Paul, huh? Okay.
We can't not talk about $10 million.
I ain't going to see none of it. So, I mean.
Well, in a way, you might.
I mean, there's always a hope and a dream.
It's not like he's gonna go to every event. But here's a couple $1,000 here, like his daddy Warbucks.
I think I heard him mention about needing an exclusive media team. I think he said that. I don't know if I was dreaming or not, but
You might have been dreaming. But I did see Brody had put out a post on Twitter asking, if there were teams that were going to be out on the road and that wanted to cover disc golf all year.
mm-hmm.
And I know we just heard the podcast, the Smashbox podcast, that Eagle said he hired somebody to go around and film him all year as a cameraman as he's doing practice rounds and stuff like that.
I think I was sleeping in the car. I didn't hear that.
Yeah. So he's got his own person working with him throughout the entire year, just following him as he does his vlogs and does practice rounds and all that stuff. I'm wondering if Brody is doing something along those lines as well to kind of help him not have to do the shooting and the editing and the playing and figuring out the courses and all that.
Yeah.
Like we're seeing such an upturn now in disc golf that type of stuff is happening.
Yeah. I mean, not that it's happening, but like it's needed, it's feasible,
Right. That it can be supported. Exactly. So when you talk about Paul setting that bar once again, it's just what he continues to do. You see that ripple effect across the entire sport. So it's not just Paul getting paid.
Yeah.
Now you're looking at down the line in a couple of years when Eagle's contract is up, what is that going to look like?
Well,
or when Ricky's contract.
Eagle already said that it was taken in consideration when he signed his because he knew about it.
Right.
So even if it's not on the front end on the numbers that they can disclose or whatever, it is affecting the current players now. The fact that it has gotten so much news in a short period of time that it's been out,
mm-hmm.
I think it's just going to bring more eyes to disc golf, and with more eyes, hopefully comes more RB sponsorships. I mean,
we need more mozzarella sticks.
Yes. So I think it's going to be just good all the way around. I don't think there's going to be anything negative that's going to come from this announcement, this news. Not that I can foresee anyway. I mean, other than someone trying to take Paul's McLaren, but I mean they're going to have to get by Hannah and Hunter. Wait, what's the dog's name?
Harrison.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
I have to get by them to get there. So.
Yeah, and I was having a discussion with a prominent disc golfer. I won't name names, but they were speaking about the fact that this generates buzz outside of disc golf, like you were saying, but in a way where high school or college athletes now look at this and say, this guy's making $10 million and he's playing disc golf. Like, all right, I'm playing baseball and I'm good at baseball, but maybe I'm not going to get to the majors, but maybe I can get into disc golf and there's a future there.
Yeah.
And we start seeing this next level of athlete that maybe was playing, tennis or football or cross country or whatever it is.
I mean, you look at Paul, he played baseball.
Exactly. Ricky as well.
Yeah. Kevin Jones, I believe.
Kevin Jones played football. I don't know if he played baseball, but
he was in a collegiate sport.
Yes.
And the fact that disc golf is a collegiate sport, not to the point that I don't know if they're giving scholarships for it yet, but I mean, that right there could be something else that this announcement brings, is that colleges look at, oh, hey, there's actual money in this. We already have a team, but it's not, being it's sponsored by us. It's just, a group of kids, interscholastic, whatever they do. I don't know how they can do it, but, it's not a major sport in college yet, but now it may be,
So it'll be interesting to see how this affects moving forward, and it'll have an effect on media. It'll have an effect on everything. It's just, there's no way that it can't. And being in on from our perspective, seeing these pros and seeing what they're doing, it's amazing. And just the partnership, because we always have, you hear the debates from players and from media teams like, oh, we're, the media teams are out there and they're covering the players and the players are doing all the work. And then the media team is doing all the work to get it out. And there's always it's always has to be hand-in-hand partnership, so to say. Like one doesn't work without the other.
Right.
So if there's nobody out there to cover, we don't have anything to do. So our cameras are sitting there useless.
So
But if nobody's covering the
the question of would Paul be where he's at if Joe Miz didn't exist, right?
right, and Spin TV and Central Coast,
Yeah,
and all of the companies that have covered him throughout the years.
yeah, that put eyes on what he was doing and
Right.
what the sport has been doing. So yeah, I think it's definitely a synergy that goes along with that.
Mhm.
Some people question the equity in that synergy on both sides.
Yep.
But I mean, it's a part of what goes into a sport that's growing. I mean, we'll figure it out.
We're growing together.
Yeah.
But you love to see it. I'm excited to see it. That's one of the ones that we haven't had. We haven't had Paul on film yet. We haven't had Eagle on film yet.
No.
Yes.
Yet. Yes.
Stay tuned though. We've got some things in the works. But yeah.
There it is.
Organized youth disc golf. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And it has to, like any sport that is at the level where it's at now, baseball, football, basketball, without kids and youth groups involvements, it never gets to that. Like they kids have to see something to aspire to be that, so to say. They have to look for that hero in that sport to be like, oh, I want to be like that person and drive that car and have that house and go out there and do this cool stuff. Like if you see it as a kid, like when you show a kid disc golf and you show them what a disc can do and fly out there, like their eyes light up.
Oh yeah.
Like it's incredible to see.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why there shouldn't be, and great organizations like You Play Disc Golf and Edge that are going out there and doing this, they should be benefiting from this in the long term as well, hopefully. So that's how it all starts. If it doesn't start with the kids, this sport, and you're seeing younger and younger pros going out there like Kyle Klein, or like we just covered Micah Groth and Evan Scott at the NADGT event over at the IDGC.
Yeah.
They're 15 years old and they're out there and they're crushing these courses that make you and I cry most of the time. But it definitely has to start with the youth, and I think that Ken hit it on the head there. If it grows the youth side of the sport, especially, then that's the biggest impact it can have.
Yeah.
My question about it was this. I brought it up, I guess, all this long-winded talk to get to. Paul is obviously setting the stage for the men's side, and he's been doing it for the better part of a decade now, or more than a decade. On the women's side, you have Paige Pierce, which just signed this historic contract with Discraft, and that wasn't announced. They didn't give away the specifics and dollar amounts and all that stuff. But is Discraft going to approach Paige with something similar and kind of make another statement on the women's side of the sport as well? We've seen the Disc Golf Pro Tour now with equal payments during their championships last year. They're looking to do that throughout the year now and try and stay as close as they can where it's equal payouts on both sides. But I'm wondering if Discraft is going to go to Paige and say, hey, here's what you've done. Here's what the numbers look like since you've come on, because you see Fierces and Paige Pierce stalkers and all that stuff everywhere as well. So it's not just Paul that's moving the plastic, it's also Paige. So I'm wondering if they're going to go to her and make another historic movement with Paige as well.
That would be interesting to see. Just because I don't know the details what's inside, like what.
First time doing a show, it happens. I remember my first show. It was with you.
Behind the scenes, what Paul has put in as far as work that he was talking about, we don't know those things. So
yeah.
That may be something that separates him from Paige. We don't know. He may have been a little bit more hands-on with disc design and just helping things operate internally. That's not something that we we know about. And so I don't know if I would say that they may go to Page and be like, hey, we did this for Paul, so we're going to do this for you. But I'm more interested to see what other manufacturers step up to do, and what they're basically going to be forced to step up to do. Because I know if I was working at ABC Company and the person with my position there is doing this, and XYZ Company, a person that they're in my position is getting this, I'm going to look for some equality somewhere. You know, the value has to be the same. If not, why am I here, right? So that's what I'm interested to see, and of course, that's not something we're going to notice. You know, maybe even this year, since all the contracts and everything has been signed. But if Paul is that much of a needle mover, I can think of other people that when their discs are out, that they generate not as much buzz. No pun.
Buzz. Let's see what you did.
You know, when they get into the zone. No.
Oh man, on fire.
Man. I don't know what to do with Onyx. But you know, what or I'm gonna say Eagle, for example. And here's why I'm gonna say Eagle, because he just won. All right, they're gonna release a disc for him that's already freaking sold out.
Yep.
But from his talks on Smashbox, he's like, that part of his contract is not capped, it's not limited.
Right.
So even if he gets $1 from each disc sale that has his name on it, he could end up making as much as Paul. We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And if that's not a part of Simon's next negotiation, because that's another person that freaking sells out a disc as soon as it's dropped.
Yeah.
If it isn't a part of his current negotiation, it'll definitely be part of his next negotiation, as far as you know, trying to find some equity, even if it's not straight cash per month or whatever. I don't know how to get paid. You know, if it's not just straight contract, the other fringe benefits that they receive.
I think they all get paid in RVs, because it looks like anytime somebody signs a big contract, they're like, "Here's your RV or your van that we've made for you." It's all custom and ready to go. I mean, you can count. There's only, for now, there's probably a handful of guys that you can point to be like, all right, that guy moves plastic. Like, we know Paul obviously is, you know, above everything else. Yeah. But yeah, Eagle, Simon, you see a ton of their stuff out there. You see a bunch of Ricky Pigs everywhere and Ricky Destroyers. Calvin Heimberg moves a ton of Destroyers now. Yeah. Nate Sexton's Firebird is, every year it comes out, you if you can buy it for $25, congratulations, you've made at least $100 profit within 2 weeks. Like, there's just certain people that move discs, and it'll be interesting to see. And the way the game and the system is set up now, we're not seeing the numbers besides Paul, who wants to make those things public because he wants that to elevate the sport. But it wouldn't surprise me if you're seeing deals being restructured within the next, you know, couple months to a year for these bigger names.
So Keith's talking about Paige looking at houses in Hawaii. Paul got a McLaren. The turnaround in disc-graph popularity.
Oh my God!
I mean, there's fanboys. There's fanboys.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you put a PM on something, he out there buying clocks, thinking that it's
It is insane. I just had this conversation with
half the day is for Paul Macbeth, man. Did you not see the clock?
There was I was talking with that certain fanboy, I won't say his name. But a couple years ago, like you would see a buzz in people's bags, and it was usually a Nate Doss buzz. You might have seen a comment here and there from Michael Johansson. But other than that, like, unless you were sponsored by Discrafts, you know, people weren't throwing forces that much. Or
I remember seeing a few forces.
They weren't as many as Destroyers. You saw Destroyers left and right.
Oh, yeah.
Now you see a Zeus in everybody's bag or a Force.
Yeah.
an Undertaker. I was throwing an Undertaker. I was like, oh, this is cool. Cody Britton was like, here, get yourself a Buzz, an Impact, and an Undertaker. And they were all phenomenal discs when I first started playing. They were just, for when I first started, they were all overstable because I was a noob. But as you learn to work them in, like they go straight, they do great things. But I would be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna throw my Undertaker on the shop. And people would be like, what is that? I'm throwing a T-Bird. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm throwing a T-Bird or a Thunderbird or yeah. They're like, they've never heard of it. So now, good luck even trying to get anything that comes out new. Like Infinite just dropped their Ledgestone stuff, which is all Discraft, and all of that stuff is just flying off of their shelves. Like Discraft's popularity has gone from, I want to say 0, but from 10 to 150
Yeah.
within a matter of years. And it's just, there's no way you can't attribute it to what Paul has done. Yeah.
Yeah. Ken says, that the little guy may lose out and that the sponsors may shift to big names. I don't quite think that's going to quite happen. I don't see them like dropping a ton of sponsors just to try to sign a bigger name. I think there's going to have to be a shift in their business model.
Mm-hmm.
But the small guys, they have value that they bring as well. Right?
Yes.
So I don't say that because I am one of the small guys, but yeah, there's the value that they bring, and companies understand that value, and it's really going to be based on their strategy, right? They're going to have to re-strategize how they do stuff, especially if they do want to make big moves to keep up with these other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't see it phasing out. The local pro that's sponsored is such a valuable tool to these companies because they're the ones, they're playing in all the local events in that area. They're showcasing the plastic. They're usually running clinics. They're probably running events.
They're convincing you to get Undertaker buzzes and
Exactly, dude. When Cody Britton was running Disc Stalker and he was sponsored by Discraft, dude, all I had, the Heat was another one that was a staple in my bag forever.
Yeah.
And until I lost my last one. But even to 4 years later, I was still using the Heat as a roller now, before it was my overstable distance driver. But yeah, all that stuff. And I would see Cody go out and work magic with these discs, and I'm like, dude, do you do lessons? And he gave me lessons, and he was doing clinics, and he was running doubles at Central, and like all that stuff that influences people when they're first getting into the sport, that adds value to these manufacturers also.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be room for those types of players as well, besides just the big sexy name. Sorry, German and Saxon. I didn't mean to steal your moniker there, but
we won't have to edit that out because we don't.
We don't want to get sued. Yeah, but yeah, there's always going to be room for that stuff. What I wonder is seeing that type of contract and movement, if it will involve other companies now that maybe haven't had disc golf on the radar as much, like in Adidas again, or Nike, or even like Titleist, or any of these other companies that do golf, and they're like, wait, they're doing what? And they're injection molding? What is that? How do we do that? What's the investment to get into
that? Don't we have that machine somewhere? It's
right. Yeah, we have like $64 billion. We don't have one. Go get 2 of those machines and start making these plastic things and see if we can get them out there. Like, what does it hurt them to try to get involved into this side, or what does it cost to them of acquisition when they're already so far ahead on the other side that they can take an initial risk to do something like that?
You know, you just said a word, and I thought this would be major, right? Mm-hmm. So what if a company like Nike says, you know what, we don't feel like, we're not going to start this from scratch. We're not going to go get our engineers to start working on this new thing. But how about this? How about Innova, you become a part of Nike now. So now we own you, and we're going to move forward like that. They acquire an existing company, and I can't even imagine what that growth would be like. Wow.
I haven't thought of that. Yeah. Rather than start from scratch, we'll just absorb. Like, who's the biggest name right now? Discraft. All right, they're doing their thing. Innova, yeah, come on board with us.
You know what? Discraft, you paying him $10 million. All right, how about this? We're gonna give you $100 million for the business. You can still stay there, but we gonna get everything else. All right, cool. Right. Well,
Who knows? Like it all sounds like crazy talk now, but if you would have said 10 or 15 years ago, or hell, even 5 years ago,
3 years
somebody's
ago
gonna
when
get
it started.
yeah,
It's
somebody's
today,
gonna get $10 million.
bucks.
Yeah, you would have thought it was nuts. Hell, when Paul signed his last deal for $1 million, it was earth-shattering news.
Yeah.
And that was just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So who knows where the sport's going to be in another 5 years? It's on ESPN now and CBS Sports, and allegedly going to be on ESPN again soon. So, I mean, we're seeing. I know from our side, is our small potato side, we're getting more and more requests from different tournament directors to come out and look at different events to cover. We need a disc golf company to go public so I can get on these. We'll let you know when the IPO comes out.
Buying disc, I'm investing in myself. I think that's the way to go.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely a good time to be in the sport. Great time to be a fan. And we'll see where it goes from there. More Lunas as soon as it came out. See, there you go.
Yeah.
I remember testing the Luna
Yeah, when it
when
first
it first came out.
Yeah.
And Paige Pierce's disc as well. I was able to get on the Discraft site immediately and order that. And then we ended up giving away. We ended up giving away one of the Lunas. I kept the other one.
You don't throw it.
No, it's in my garage on a rack next to Paige Pierce's 2 prototype discs. But I remember Keith Bombalin was a huge help, like such an awesome supporter when we first got started. He gave us the set of 4, the Force, the Buzz, the Undertaker, and the Zone to do reviews on.
I think we gave them all away, didn't we?
We gave them all away, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the thing, was like we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna partner up, we're gonna do the reviews, and then we're gonna give them out and give them away. So, and now one of those 4 claw zones are like $250 or something if you can get one. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. All the 4 claw stuff, the Buzzes, the Forces, all that stuff is hundreds of bucks each. It's insane. Yeah. Check and see if you got any left.
I have to look in that bin right there and see what I got, because I just keep stuff on.
Yeah. I remember the giving away the Undertaker hurt because I really liked that titanium Undertaker.
And it would be worth more if it was signed too, right?
No, the weird thing for some reason with collectibles and disc golf is if it's signed, it actually diminishes the value.
Even if it's signed by the pro? Not me signing it.
Yeah, no. Like, yeah. For whatever reason, like I've got a Climo signed Whippet. And yeah, anytime you see these collectible things go up, for some reason, like some people will be like, "Oh yeah, I want it signed," but the majority of the people do not want the pro to sign it. They just want the blank disc, and that's all they care about. No, you have one?
I don't know if you can.
Oh, who's that? Who's that? Pablo? Oh, that's right. When at the Hall of Fame Classic.
Yeah.
Keith is going to his basement to look for. That's right. Yeah, Keith said $200. I'm going to my basement and see what he's got. John Reed, are you covering any Minnesota tournaments this year? I don't believe we have anything scheduled yet in Minnesota. We haven't. We're in talks with the Pro Tour and all that stuff about getting out to different events. But yeah, we haven't. I'd like to get out to cover Hale's course out there. I know the Minnesota Majestic is an event that he runs out there also, which is really awesome. And I'd like to get out and do the Preserve, but as of now, we haven't booked anything out in Minnesota. I think we should be out in Illinois later on this year. We're somewhere hovering around those areas, so we'll take a look and see if there's stuff that we can get out to out there that makes sense for us to do.
Yeah.
But it's a fun year. Like this is the first year where we're looking to actively go out and not just cover stuff in the Southeast, but kind of grow the brand and expand more. So if you guys see tournaments that you think, hey, it would be awesome if Ace Run was out there, talk to the TDs, send them over to our website. It's acerumpro.com, And
Nope.
AceRun.pro is the shortcut that takes you right to the actual form so that we can have all the information and we can take a look. Keith is sending me photos. It's awesome. He's got a bunch of these 4-claw zones. That's amazing. Hold on to those, Keith.
Hey, Keith.
Don't sell them at the regular price. Oh my God, he's got a black one. I'll have to talk to you offline, Keith, about some of these discs you have there. Yeah, that's awesome, man. But yeah, I see it all the time now on the Discraft auction site. Anytime you put up anything with 4 claws, be like bidding starts at $50, $65, $80, $85, $120. It's like, yeah, yeah. He's in there now. He's just realized that he can retire early because he's finding all this stuff. Eagle sold the Firebird at Vegas for yeah. Ricky was selling his. As soon as he got his, he put it up on the auction site. I stopped watching it when it got over $800. But those Sexton Las Vegas Firebirds that come out only at Las Vegas every year. Last year they did 250 of them. This year they did 750 of them. And as soon as you got them, they were on the sites, and the lowest that I saw was $500 that people were getting for them. I know Terry Miller managed to snag a couple also because Terry's always there for the big events. And he was like, oh, I can get another camera now and do this and that. I was like, good on you, Terry. Good on you. I don't know if he's actually going to sell them all because Terry hoards so much stuff.
Yeah, he does.
And he was saying that he regrets giving away the 2 or selling the 2 that he got last year. So I'm sorry. I keep seeing pictures popping up on from Keith. You've got your kid's college fund in those discs. So all you got to do is just hold on to them. Because by the time he wins his 6th championship, those are going to be worth probably double. It's just like the Climo stuff. He's like, oh, I've got an 8-time Eagle, or I've got a 7-time Rock that is worth this or that much. So, but yeah, anything Discraft right now is just super hot, super duper hot.
Super.
All right, we did both giveaways, right?
We did both giveaways.
We took care of business early tonight.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Well, that was all I had. In case I don't know if you got anything else you wanted to go over. He's going over the list. So normally we don't have these live for everybody. The quarterly shows we do, or at least the first 2 we've done live, just to give you guys a peek of what's going on. We do this show monthly for our Patreon supporters also. And we do our monthly giveaway, which again, if you're a Patreon supporter at the $5 level or above, you qualify for. And the quarterly giveaways are $10 and above supporters. But if you want to become a supporter, we're going to be putting out a lot more content this year. We are currently, I know we've got quite a few tournaments already booked, and we've got quite a few more that we're waiting to finalize. So you're going to see an awful lot of more content coming from Ace Run Productions this year, bigger tournaments, bigger names. And we're covering all the events that we've worked with in the past that we love being out to. So please consider coming on as a Patreon supporter if you go to patreon.com/AceRunPro for as little as $3 a month.
Yeah.
You can become a Patreon supporter. Just the $3 mark gives you access to early access, exclusive content. And then the $5 and $10 gives you different giveaway options as well. I know we're working on some other stuff possibly for merchandising and all that stuff. And we know you guys have asked about merchandise as well. Right now, if you go to ace1pro.com, we do have some merchandise on there. I know it's through Spring Tea.
Yeah, they're changing their name to Spring, but yeah, Teespring.
Teespring. So right now, that's the only way to get merchandise and stuff in terms of shirts or face masks or any of that stuff. But we do have other things that we're looking at to be able to kind of facilitate some of that stuff. But
yeah,
we don't. What we worry about is ordering stuff and then sitting on it, so to say. So if we see stuff moving on the actual Teespring site, then it would make sense for us to go ahead and start ordering stuff to have on hand when we go to events.
Yeah.
What we don't want to do is order stuff and then we're just sitting on, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of shirts and hats that nobody's buying.
Project Disc.
Prodigies. Well, we've moved some of the prodigies. We have one guy that's just bought like 6 discs. So thank you. But yeah, we still have Prodigy discs stamped on site on the website itself. So if you're into Prodigy and you want to check out our FX2 or MX3 PA3s, we still have some of those on the site. We're running low on PA3s. Those have been doing really well. But there's still a couple of discs left on there. Hey, and there's some of the shirts and hoodies. Different designs. A big thank you to Curtis Blow, who designed the card chasing down the basket there, which is just, we love that logo. It's so cool.
Yep.
But yeah, you've got different options from mugs to stickers to shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, pullovers, all that good stuff, face masks.
And part of the reason why we are on Teespring is because of the variety. So you can go to a shirt and say, hey, I like that shirt. And you can get it in any of these colors. There's no way I'm going to stock all these colors in small through XT. I didn't even know it was XT.
Mm-hmm. Extra tall, yeah.
Yeah. So there's no way that we're going to be able to stock all these colors in that variety. So it gives you an option to be able to personalize your order for you while still supporting us. So
yeah. Check out all the options. There's plenty there. And just ace1pro.com is where you can keep up to date with all the stuff that we got going on. We're going to try to do a better job once we get our schedule finalized, getting posts out for that so that you guys know what events we're going to be coming at to cover. We will be this weekend coming up at the John Turner. Dude, it's been so long.
Who's this guy?
You know him. He used to flick and then
by his house though. It's going to be missing one day.
Yeah, exactly. He's not using it. But yeah, we were actually out today at the Haywood Valley property doing the drone flyover stuff because we'll be covering the Eagle Eye Open this weekend. So we should have a pretty cool card to cover on the feature, and then we'll have the final card for that. That's not going to be next day turnaround. That's probably going to be something because we've got in a couple of weeks, hopefully, we'll be flying somewhere towards the middle of the country to do some stuff.
Yeah.
But we will eventually get that footage out for you guys. That's such an amazing property. Wes and his dad are out there just killing it. They've added some new holes. We got to play it today. It got to beat us up like it always does. But it'll be fun to see how the pros slay it versus what we just did today.
Yeah.
But that'll be one that we're going out to cover. We'll be out at the Battle of Boomtown again this year. We've got Hub City Halloween open again this year. We'll be at Kudzu Cove for the NADGT A tier out there.
Yeah.
And other events that we can't say anything about quite yet.
That, and we're still accepting submissions for media requests.
Yep.
So, again, acerun.pro will take you immediately to the application request form. We get it, work up a quote, get in touch with you, and just see how we can actually make it work for that event.
Exactly. We still have quotes that we're getting finalized for other TDs. So TDs, if you sent in a request, thank you. We haven't forgotten about you. We are putting together everything. We've got quite a few that we're going through. So please be patient as we get everything worked out. And we want to make sure that when we do get the quote ready for you, that we can take the time to actually go over everything with you step by step and not just be like, hey, here's what it is. Here's what, we'll be there and blah, blah, blah. We want to actually customize everything for you step by step so that you're getting the best experience when we get out there possible.
Yeah.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
All right. Enjoyed listening. Thank you, Ken. But other than that, man, I didn't have anything else. But
yeah, I don't have anything newsworthy or noteworthy or anything like that.
At number 6 on the day, I think. I lost count.
Wait, you already had that one on, so it doesn't count.
I didn't, bro, because I had this one on to start the show.
Oh, okay.
The regular black one. What's up? Yeah. You're lucky I didn't break out the beanie.
I am excited. I don't know if the people know. I'm excited. This is something behind the scenes. They don't know. Just that we got new equipment. So we have new cameras. that are like really good matching in specs. So this is something that before we didn't really take into consideration when we were buying cameras. We just needed to get some good cameras.
Yeah.
But now we're actually taking the time to make sure that they're matching in specs. We got 2 drones now. We got the microphones. We're upping our game. Where's that dead cat? Oh, not that one. But you're talking about a dead cat. We've been had that.
Well, when you hear audio commentary, this is where it's coming from. Now you can hear my radio voice. So the dead cat is right here. Oh, as I knock everything over. Here's the dead cat.
Yeah, my dead cat.
Nice road, Mike. You'd have told us 3 years ago that we were going to have all this stuff. I'd be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Sure thing.
Yeah. Hey, man. In 3 years, we're going to be eyeing a $2,000 camera. You ready? $2,000 camera? Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay. You better kiss the baby. But now we know. Now we're here because of the support of you guys. So this is all because, we put stuff out and you guys watched it and you commented and you liked. So every time you're on there and you're like, one little click doesn't do anything. Yeah, it does. It gets us in front of more eyes. Anytime you click and comment, the algorithm kicks in and it puts us into other people's feeds, and we get a chance to be viewed by other people. So it amazes me that we get viewers from Finland and like across Australia. I'm like, what? Who is watching our stuff across the world?
Yeah.
That is amazing. But I love it. And then even here, like we think, all right, well, everybody from Atlanta is going to watch. That'd be cool. But we got people from Texas and California and Portland and Maine. I've sent discs pretty much all across the U.S. at this point.
Our Patreon member that's in California, if you would have told me, I wouldn't have known. I wouldn't have known. I've been like, oh, that's some local guy that's supporting the local team. No, he's in freaking California, but he loves what he does. He loves what we do and wants to support. So
yeah, that's amazing. So thank you guys for making this dream a reality. And all we can do is we'll keep doing our part to keep bringing you content. And all we can promise is that we'll try to get better and better year over year to make this, better for you guys.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, my friend. An hour and a little over an hour and a half. Anything else you want to add?
Nope.
Well, thank you so much, guys. This has been season 2, episode 3 of the Patreon show. Thanks so much for checking it out. Again, patreon.com/AceRunPro. You can catch our monthly show. Otherwise, we will see you guys next quarter for the live show.
Yeah. More than likely,
Yeah, more than likely. Thanks, everybody.
Hey, no.
Oh, sorry. And as always, from us here, it's from Ace Run Production. Let's run it.